Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Sigmar Strategies. Today I have a sweet concept for you. I use this in a couple of my games at the Cherokee Open, which happened just recently in North Carolina. And I have a tech that none of my opponents really saw coming, and I think is applicable for every army. You can find something in every game where you could do this, or this is an option that you can put on the table. So here I have the exact example from one of my games. We have my opponent playing Skaven. He's got a couple of his support pieces back here. Gracier and Simi Bell. Gracier, I think it was actually a Master Molder in my game. But we also have 6 Clan Rats, just a couple left, engaged with a Squig Herd and Kragnos. This kind of determined the choice of priority if I was going to go first or they were going to go first. They thought there were no way that I was going to be able to get into their support pieces. Something you can do here is, I did end up taking the turn, but something you can do here is actually retreat out with Squig Herd. Now, the rule for retreat says you can't charge after. It does not say you cannot fight after. This does not give you retreat and charge, doesn't do any of that. But what you're able to do is retreat out. Say I still have my consistent move of 7 here. We can move out here, and as long as we're not engaged with the Gracier here, but we are engaged with the Gnawhole, we can move our herd and everything all the way out here, be engaged here. We'll go through shooting and charge phase. Charge phase we cannot because we retreated this turn. But when we get to combat, we are engaged with the Gnawhole. So we're actually going to be able to pile in 3 inches here. And with that, we're going to be in range of their support pieces. So this is something I haven't encountered an opponent who has seen this coming. And it is super applicable. Besides the fact that there are terrain pieces that don't have movement characteristics, remember that there's the constraint of you count as engaged in combat if they have a movement characteristic. On top of that, there are also the manifestations. Say someone's taking War of Conjuration or Twilight Sorceries and they cast Shackles. You come up against Chronomatic Cause, you come up against Bridge in the way, all of that kind of stuff, on top of the faction manifestations and all that stuff. Those you can walk into combat range of, and you don't count as being in combat until the combat step. And then you're able to pile in and swing into these kind of support pieces. They may have things hunkered around them. So say it's a Maw Pit that needs, a butcher nearby, or they want to set up teleports near the Gnawhole, things like that. You are able to kind of catch them off guard by retreating out, staying within 3 inches of whatever the terrain piece is or the manifestation, and then piling in afterwards. If this were reversed, just imagine if I had retreated out with Kragnos, sat here with this, and then been able to pile into his support pieces with, the God of Destruction. This is super applicable. Literally, it's just a generic mechanic that all armies can take advantage of, and this is something where it can happen on accident, and you can notice it in some of your games, but you can also be looking to set it up, and you can use this to easily win games. If you guys end up using this in any of your games, please let me know in the comments below. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks guys, bye.